High School DxD needs a remake, a High School DxD Brotherhood, a High School DxD Ultimate, a version of a DxD anime that has not only updated the visuals, but has better animation, and more importantly, an adaptation that's more in line with the source material. I haven't seen many people talk about this, but I think DxD is an anime that does deserve a remake, and I'll explain my reasonings. So let's just get into those. I'm going to bring up my main reasoning first, and then give y'all some of my other reasonings to support my argument for why DxD should get a remake. My biggest reasoning for why DxD should get a remake is because of the anime's inconsistencies with the light novel. The anime is missing a lot of the light novel's content, mainly the entirety of the Rias vs. Sona rating game. This is an entire arc of the series that the anime just ignored because TNK tried condensing volumes 5 and 6 and 7 into one arc. Instead, we got a shitty filler arc with Rias being evil and stuff. So many people don't even know that this arc exists despite it being a major arc of the series. Now this is the only major arc that's completely cut, but there's also a whole bunch of other tiny things just missing in the anime. Salso and the hero faction aren't as fleshed out. The Loki arc is a lot more lame in the anime. A lot of Issei's abilities go unexplained in the anime, and just so much more. Relationships between characters are also just a lot better explained in the light novel than in the anime, where the anime kind of glosses over them sometimes. Even the world building is kind of fumbled in the anime. The light novel does so much more for the world building, especially in volume 9. Basically my point is the anime just lacks a lot of what the original light novel set up. In an ideal remake, I'd want for them to cut out all the filler in the anime and make a version of the anime that's more consistent with the light novel and keeps the content from the light novel. Even the light novel version of Juggernaut Drive. Some people don't like that version of Juggernaut Drive, but after some thought, I think it's better for Issei's character later on, especially in Volume 9 and Volume 10. Also, I'm going to plug Slaxy's Volume 9 video right here. Go watch that. He made a banger right there. I'm back. We'll let us back up. Please go watch that video. That's a really good video that kind of explains a lot of stuff about why Volume 9 is so good. Volume 9 is one of the best volumes of High School DxD that I've read so far. But yeah, I want a DxD anime that trims up the filler and includes missing content from the light novel. Kind of like what they're doing with Dragon Ball Super, where they're remaking Super to look better and from what I've heard to be more in line with the manga. And who knows, High School DxD is clearly inspired by Dragon Ball, so maybe they'll follow suit in some way. I don't know how long I'd make the remake seasons, maybe make them a bit longer than your average DxD season to fit more light novel content, maybe even make them movies, but that might make it harder to fit light novel content. Or you could have the first and last episodes of every season be like an hour or something, so you can really do whatever with that. I honestly just think cutting filler out would also help put more light novel content in, because you're not having to put filler episodes in. I don't even know why DxD has filler episodes. It's a seasonal anime that's had years of light novel content to catch up on, so I never really got why there was filler episodes in DxD in the first place, since it's a seasonal anime that has an abundance of content to work off of. Now I think about it, what would I call this remake? High School DxD Boosted? Or something? I don't know. Actually, if you got this far into the video, tell me in the comments what you name a High School DxD remake. I need that engagement. But let me get into some of my other reasons for why I think there should be a remake. Updated visuals. Both art styles are now outdated at this point, and while I'm fine with both art styles, I like both of them. I know many people who find both unappealing. Imagine if DxD had a newer art style that blended together the best aspects of both the seasons 1 to 3 art style and the hero art style. I'd love it if they could keep the season 2 lighting, colors, and eye designs with more light novel-esque character designs. Now, who would I have animated? Honestly, I would not mind if Passion returned, but from the reception of season 4, they might decide to go for a different studio. And while I do think the hero style is worse because of design choices, most people that hate the art style only dislike it for one reason, because the women aren't as pretty. If you go on the DxD subreddits and other online spaces, they'll just talk about how Rias doesn't look hot anymore, Akano doesn't look hot anymore. Translation, season 4 is not W Goons for them. But if you've watched my channel long enough, you'll know that I don't really care for DxD's fan service like others do. And to those who genuinely want TNK to animate DxD again, you know that it's not going to look the same, right? TNK doesn't animate the same way they did in 2012. It's been 14 years since High School DxD came out. The art style will not look like what you're expecting at all. So who would I have animated? Well, here's some options. My favorite of the bunch would be Madhouse. They have done ecchi before, such as High School of the Dead. They've also done Death Note, Frieren, Overlord, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man Season 1, and more. They've done a lot of very high caliber shows, although they also do less known shows and stuff like that. They'll take on some random stuff every now and then. And I think Madhouse could give us a DxD that keeps the ecchi crowd happy and entertained, while providing a serious upgrade in animation that could also have the Season 1 through 3 vibes, just with better fighting, choreography, and animation, and stuff like that. Studio Dean would also be a solid choice. They did work on Konosuba. If DxD had Konosuba animation, I wouldn't really complain. It would just look like a higher quality Season 4. Now, this is a super long shot, but I also thought about Ufotable. I don't think Ufotable would do a DxD Season 5 or remake, but who knows? I just kind of brought them up because I think Fate and DxD are kind of similar. I've only watched a couple episodes of Fate, and I think the art style of Fate looks like the High School DxD light novel to a degree, or maybe all light novel art styles look like Fate. But I think going with pure vibes, Ufotable can make a good DxD. I don't think they would. And then there's also Studio Trigger, which I kind of thought of, but they mainly do anime originals and don't usually commit to ongoing series. Most Trigger shows are like one season, so that's kind of out of the picture too. But tell me what studio that you'd want to make DxD down in the comments, and hopefully we're not all TNK. Bringing back hype. This is the other major reason, and the last. High School DxD hasn't had a season in about 8 years. I was just starting middle school when the last season of High School DxD came out. I am now in my freshman year of college, going into my sophomore year this fall. I turned 20 this year. I remember when I started watching the show in 2022, I was like, surely enough, they'll make a new season sometime soon. It's been 4 years since I started High School DxD. The anime's hiatus has doubled in the time that I've been a fan of the series. While a season 5 would probably get hardcore fans hyped and would bring in new people with it just being a new anime, I don't know if season 5 will get that much attention if it just randomly showed his face. Of course, if you market it correctly, anything can happen. But if you did the Dragon Ball method with the anime remake and then a season 5 like we're doing with the Moro arc, you'd probably build more hype because there'll also be more content before season 5 to build up to that. Also, people who've never seen the show might get interested in season 5 and want to go back to watch the old seasons, but they might be put off by the outdated art style or problems with the plot in some instances. They might drop it. So give them a remake to get new fans on board, so that to be anticipating the release of season 5. Honestly, it would be awesome if they announced both at the same time, with the remake releasing earlier and season 5 releasing maybe 2 or 3 years later. Or hell, I'd even be fine with them just announcing a remake and then saving a season 5 announcement for later. I know some people don't want to wait longer for a season 5 since it's already been almost a decade, but if we do end up getting one, I want it to be as successful as it can be. Not only that, but I think we would only benefit, and the season would only benefit, from having a version of previous arcs that flows more naturally into it. So I think a remake would do nothing but good things for this franchise, unless they fuck it up. Hey guys, we're in an outro segment now. So basically, this is gonna be where I'm gonna say other stuff besides what was in the video, but I did want to tell y'all, I said in the community tab, but y'all viewing this might not know, I got copyright strikes on my Chainsaw Man shorts recently, so I will not be making any more Chainsaw Man shorts. I'll probably just start making DxD shorts and see where that goes with that. But yeah, that was a really scary experience, but no worries, I'll just keep making DxD content and I'll just try to give y'all more of what y'all want. I don't really have much else to talk about. That's kind of it. So follow my socials, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.